We'll be starting soonish. Sorry if you hear weird sounds in the background. I'm quite ill. Just gonna get ready and enjoy a chocolate brownie and some ice cream for an energy snack. Also, do I need to? I need to Twitter. I need to Twitter that I'm tweeting. I'm streaming. That's the one. Oh, streaming might have been a mistake. I'm not sure if I'm well enough. So, citizen, come say hi and some questions for our first stream the new year. Which the /BoredGamer. Right. Give me a couple of minutes and we'll be doing a thing. We'll be live or something. I mean, we're kind of live now. Feel free to ask some questions. You want to ask a question? Question in brackets. Ask what you want. I'll go through all your questions. Just trying to find if there's any important newsy based things that I should have open. I can have this here. Yeah. I don't have a doctor's note. I apologize. We'll go over all of that and more in a minute. My voice has gone really weird now. I'm seeing some good questions. Some of them I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer appropriately. But on my stream, it doesn't matter if I don't know the answer. I'll give it a damn good I reckon. Apologies if there are horrible sounds. Alright. Let's do that. I forgot what button to press. This one. Hi. Hello. I'm BoredGamer. I believe, as a load of my friends have also got it, COVID, unfortunately. But we'll soldier on through. I'm not sure how long we'll stream for today. I've been quite poorly over the last few days, but I had some energy and I was bored. Still been sort of putting out lazy videos. Fortunately, because Zin's back at work. Been good, because I got ill about the same time. I'm like, oh, Zin, edit this. I'm just going to read some scripty boys of this or this. Or notes. Actually, I've been going much more sort of like a couple of bullet points and then just chatting. That's better. Why is my face so bright on that side? But I hope everyone else is having a nice 2024. People saying, why is everyone getting ill at the moment? Just illness goes around this time of year, right? I went out at New Year's, almost certainly where I got ill. Oh, thank you very much for all the kind words from everyone. It is genuinely appreciated. And we're going to be starting up a load of stuff in the new year with I'm supposed to interview an org for Org Spotlight tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be well enough to do that. But yes, if you'd like to ask a question during the live stream, question in brackets. And hello to everyone. Hello. Did you get anything cool or interesting for Christmas? I'm going to tell you something now. I don't really like the receiving of Christmas presents. I don't want stuff. I don't mind giving them. I don't mind giving presents if I see something for someone. But I like giving presents throughout the year, just sort of randomly to people. That's what I'm more pro. I think Christmas is a trap to make people anxious and worry about what they need to do for people each year. Fortunately, I've got loads of friends that are quite easy to shop for, and I can buy them games or some sort of dumb currency for a game or something, so they can buy cosmetics or whatever they would never normally buy. I didn't get anything particularly fanciful or anything this year. I try with my family as well, because none of them have huge amounts of cash to say, I really don't need anything, really don't want anything. And I did Christmas meal for everyone, gave out some board games and stuff for Christmas to people. I'm quite lightweight with that sort of stuff. I can ask my boss for sick leave, and I will give it to myself. That's a don't clip that out of context. But being self-employed, or all of the work that I do, effectively does mean that will damage the amount I earn. So, if I need to rest, and I think that rest is going to help me be more efficient, then I will rest. I rest last night when I was sleeping, and I've been napping most of the day today. I did some audio work early in the morning, passed it off to Zin, and then I got up like half an hour ago and went, I actually fancy streaming, because otherwise I'll want to stream on Saturday, or I feel anxious about not streaming, because my internet's working again now, touch wood, and I want to start talking about Star Citizen again on the stream. I know that it's quite quiet at the moment, because we're in the January sort of scheduling period for CIG. If people don't know, CIG in January each year, they do the scheduling for the rest of the year, and that's actually more important this year because of the feature completeness of Squadron 42, and that means there's a lot more teams actually working on Persistent Universe features and bringing those features over to the Persistent Universe as well. So, where's the beef? In the cow, along with the milk. I don't have a doctor's note. I am in quite a lot. Okay, so the worst thing about colds for me, well, in general, is I'm worried about my voice going or it being too hard to talk because that's my only marketable, semi-marketable sort of value, right? Is that I talk on videos, my voice has got, it's going to get even deeper and deeper, lads. And I worry about colds sort of preventing that. But the thing I hate about colds the most is the runny nose. Oh, that's the worst. And at the moment, the runny nose phase seems to be starting to stop, which is good. And at the moment, though, I've got sort of like a quite bad pain in the left side of my chest. I've checked it out. Don't worry. I'm pretty clued up on when to contact the doctor and everything, and I'm pretty anxious about it. It's just it's a known pain. But it's my cough hurts. When I breathe too deeply hurts. Sorry, I'm not dying. It's just basic normal ill stuff. Promise. Traveler Map. Thank you very much for the donation. That's the words. You think we will get a noticeable difference in development speed now that Squadron 42 is feature complete? Will we get more small features? I think both. Or big ones. So we're going to get lots and lots of small features, which lots and lots of small features that can be bundled up as bigger features almost. I think that we will still see occasional large features, but I suppose this year we're going to be seeing things like pyro, like server meshing, potentially bits of base building, and lots of other stuff beyond that. But yeah, a ton of that Squadron 42 core feature set, along with a load of new features. So I do think that we'll see a significant improvement in the perceived speed of development, because they've been developing lots of stuff for Star Citizen. It's just because of the nature of the alpha, it doesn't necessarily get into our hands in any gameable form. I might be making up terms here, but you're going to have to stick with me. So obviously they showed the engine demo, which we're looking at now, and that was like, oh wow, this looks great. Not all of it's in our hands yet, but hopefully most of it, if not all of it, will be in our hands by the end of the year. When it comes to larger features, are we talking about stuff like exploration and science and stuff? Because a lot of these features are going to be lots of smaller features coming together, like the new star map, like new mission content and dynamic universe content sort of coming together, right? But thank you so much for that donation. So, people don't know, January and February, as well as June, it's like, as well as like sometimes end of June, but normally January, February, the lowest earners for YouTubers in general, and obviously that's magnified in the Star Citizen community for content creators because of not much happening around them. There's no like major patch releases typically. They sort of you had your big thing at the end of the year, and the start of the year is always quite slow. I mean, there's still stuff coming up. Don't get me wrong. There's like mini patches. There's the Lunar New Year. There's the February things. The love one, the romance. A quarter more. That's the one. Stuff like that. But they're all quite minor events, right? And minor little things. So yes, what I was saying is thank you very much for the money. I appreciate it. And also, cry me a little river, I suppose, isn't it? Oh, your job must be so hard. You cover Star Citizen each day. Oh, hoo, boo, hoo, hoo. No, I do, and I enjoy it. So there, get wrecked. Not the only thing I do. I do. I say collectibles and Kickstarts and stuff like that as well, and the YouTube stuff has allowed me to also sort of explore that and getting Zin as an editor. If I can get a video, because I want to be able to get a video between 1 and 2 videos out a day. That's the idea. What else have we got here? How many Sheila? How many ships does an average Star Citizen own? I think it was like 3.5. I did this a while ago. I'd have to look into it again. So a couple of years ago I did that. And I think it was 3.5. But there's been a load of ways of getting additional free ships from referral bonuses. There's been an influx of other stuff happening. So bear with me 1 second. This is going to be horrible. Apologies. Yeah, I think it's around 3.5. Oh no, someone at the door. Bear with me. Oh, just an Amazon delivery or something. I'll work out what it is later. When I went downstairs, okay, so I've got a cat. Okay, she's very old now. She's going blind. She's absolutely lovely though, and she's friendly enough. All the other cats are sort of a bit afraid of her in their sort of road. However, because she's a bit blind now, she sort of like just lets them pass. And I went downstairs, and there's 3 other cats that aren't mine, just chilling out. Neighbour's cat, another neighbour's cat, and a third semi-feral cat. Just one in the back room, one in the kitchen, one outside looking in the door, just starting to come in. Oh my god, so many cats. I love cats. So, moving around is not pleasant at the moment. And I'm so hungry. Oh my god. Like, I was ravenous yesterday. I ate 2 days worth of food. And sort of coming from... that was a lot. It was a lot of food. I was just constantly going, I mean, if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat while I feel ill. Sorry, I'm complaining a load as well. It's one of the symptoms, complaining a lot. I'm returning to the game this month after a year hiatus. Finally got a rig that should run it smoother. What's your biggest need to know for a returning citizen? So make sure you've got all of your drivers updated for everything, right? Quite genuinely, Windows updated, your graphics card updated. Yeah? Clean, fresh install Star Citizen, or after you've updated, delete your shader folder. And then it will sort of rebuild it. Those are some basic stuff that you can do to just get into the game more easily. There is an in-game tutorial now, but if you've played before, you probably don't need it. Although you do get free little stuff, bits and bobs for completing it. But it's just like a armor sets type stuff. Nothing super useful. You can. Where would I start? Wherever you, there's no specific location that I'd say I'd want to start or not. Area 18 is looking a bit more dated now, although it's one of the places where you can get the new salvage tool. But I mean, you need the new salvage tool. Salvage gameplay is pretty cool if you can get yourself a vulture. Biggest thing you can do, most important thing to do, make sure you bring yourself a medical tool with goo, that you can always heal yourself. Bring yourself a multi-tool with tractor beam and salvage attachments. Very much the tractor beam, very useful for a huge range of things in game, because you're very much able to loot stuff a lot more now and move boxes around, and When you go to a new station or whatever, make sure you go to the medical facility there and move your imprint over there. Basically, that changes your respawn location. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you very much for the bits. I watch your videos on YouTube every day. Let me turn down the music slightly. Watch your videos on YouTube every day. Greetings to you and everyone who helps make videos. I wish you lots of happiness and health. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mark Lucent. Thank you very much for becoming a board gamer, a board producer as well. I think that's quite a high level one. I'll work that out later and message you. Genuinely, thank you very much for using the join button under my videos. That is one of the best ways of supporting the channel. It's sort of like a glorified YouTube version of Patreon, I suppose, or a sub like you'd have on Twitch or whatever. But genuinely, thank you so much. That is absolutely super awesome. Oh, and thank you very much, Troggy Her, again. That's very much appreciated. Subscribing with your Prime. Yeah. I set up loads of ways that people could support the channel if they wanted to, and people ask what's the best way, and it's just whatever way is the most comfortable for you if you want to. I mean, even just commenting on videos and liking, talking about them, commenting on them really helps. I want to show you something. So, let's see if I can actually find it. I have to do it the next time. There was... I might do it next time. Next stream, next week. So... I found it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to show you this. This is funny. This is on YouTubers.me. Which I would say the accuracy of this is low. So this basically has a YouTuber.me. It goes over information about me, yeah, as a YouTuber, and all the sort of information that it knows about me. But it's largely incorrect. Now, some of the video stats are correct. It sort of grabbed my information from my YouTube channel, but it thinks I'm called Robert. It thinks I'm 45 years old. It's got a different birthday. It thinks I'm a Gemini. It thinks I've got an American partner. It says I'm worth around $1 million, which I love that. I'm not. Board gamers from the United States. That's news to me. It's absolutely fantastic. It's totally incorrect. Well, I mean, there's some stuff. BoredGamer is known for his coverage of space simulation games like Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. Apparently Elite Dangerous. But he also covers other games, which I have previously, such as Cyberpunk. I have played Cyberpunk once on the channel. That is true. For like one session, maybe. So weird. There was... Has BoredGamer been involved in controversies? BoredGamer had some controversies during his career, including the use of copyrighted music and perceived negative criticism of Star Citizen development. What? I probably have had a problem with copyrighted music at some point, because I'm quite sort of anxious about it when I say, Zin, you sure that's copyright free? And I suppose I have potentially negatively criticised Star Citizen, because I talk about it all the time. There was something else as well. There was like favourite sayings somewhere. Is it here? Yes, favourite quotes. Apparently, engines on. I think that's a good one. I was going to start using that more. We're making our own fun. I liked. Performing the EVA of a lifetime. So I just don't know where it's got this information from. So some of it's been like ripped from online, but then has it been filled with AI generated content? It's so weird. There's always a bigger ship. So weird. So weird. But I just thought I'd share that. What else have we got? I know it's fairly unreliable, but when do you reckon the progress tracker will be updated? February. Early February, or early to mid-February is the plan. So Clan Imperium, they are doing scheduling meetings at the moment. They're working stuff out, and they said you will have a roadmap update in February, and that will be both the tracker and the release view. So I would say that the progress tracker gets more and more accurate each year. Especially now with the Squadron 42 being feature complete, there's going to be a lot less stuff obscured when it comes to especially Star Citizen Persistent Universe stuff. Leafbinder, thank you so much for the donation. That is genuinely appreciated. I really like money. I don't think people realise that about me. I quite like money. And when people give me money, it makes me quite happy and grateful. So it's like the perfect present. If you went up to me and went, "What do you want?" I'll be like, "Oh, I don't know." But if someone just gave me money, I'll be like, "You knew exactly what I wanted without me having to tell you." Thank you so much, like quite generously. Genuine and generously. Generously. I'm broken today. I'm so sorry. What else have we got? How dare he criticise the wholly and completely bug-free game that is Star Citizen? So it's really important that you try not to fall in the category of either Star Citizen Extreme, of White Knight, or I hate the game because and I hate the community, whatever. So try and stay out of the two extreme polar opposites of Star Citizen. Just enjoy the game. You don't need to defend it. It's not your job to defend it. It's not even CIG's job really to defend it. The game will speak for itself eventually when it's done. And yeah, I love Star Citizen. I think it's absolutely fantastic, sort of warts and all. Love the community. Love the fact I've been able to cover a game for 11 years and pretty much only that game. And I'm looking forward to it expanding out from what it is now. There's a load of cool stuff that I think is coming this year. I do think that this is going to be the biggest year for Star Citizen and content, and it's going to be moving relatively a lot faster. I mean, yeah, a lot faster. It just is, in my opinion. Just with those core features coming in from Squadron 42, more teams working on Star Citizen, their offices now in the UK being mostly complete. I believe they're mostly complete. I know they will be mostly complete because I'm going to be trying to get an office. I've been told that I can apply for an office tour soon, which would suggest that they are nearly complete. I'm looking forward. What, you said something famous? So it's something else that someone remembered ever. Like you're saying, up an atom. Better. Oh, I like those. I like Loken's emotes there. They're cool. Multi-part ships. I like them. Right. What else? What other questions do we have? Oh, my apologise. You have to hear me go really quite common or quite rough speaking. Where are the mission givers? There are some mission givers around. Okay, so Clan Imperium built a load of mission givers, and some of them have been semi-depreciated. But you see Miles Eckhart and Twitch Pacheco and stuff like that around. They will be having all of the old ones and a load of new ones with a load of associated appropriate missions for them in the not too distant future. So a lot of them, like getting Tessa Bannister back in and stuff, they want to have proper scanning and the appropriate missions for that. And some of the other ones are like in the Nix system. They will have the outreach center for Crusader with Gibson Batista for Crusader security. A lot of this stuff's already been built and sort of ready, but they need the actual mission chains to be properly developed for them as well, and not to keep on changing. As salvage and engineering are increasingly not to be a thing, both to be a thing, how long do you think we will have to wait before the Reclaimer sees a decent update? Okay, so you should see engineering in some form
actually implemented in game this year. So talking about the resource management system, obviously salvage is currently something they are trying to tweak and improve. Recently adding the structural salvage stuff that does need some work. There might be mini games and stuff to it later, but they've got it in game and they're sort of enhancing its gameplay based on feedback if necessary. Which I do think, to some level, be tweaking that to make it more entertaining and fulfilling might be a good idea. But you've got sort of various types of salvage. You come up to a salvage site and you can loot the ship, so take cargo from it. You can take its weapons and components. You can potentially go and tow it back and repair it. Even in 3.22, technically you should be able to do that with soft death ships, although it's bugged and you can't, but soon. And then if you want to actually salvage it, you can hull strip it, and you can then hull munch it, which is now structural salvage. So it's actually quite a solid loop there. And then the next sort of stuff is to get those components and things that you get from that actually being more used by the economy. Because dynamic economy, super important. I'm not sure we're going to see much in the way of dynamic economy this year. I think we'll see cargo and economy updates. But the dynamic economy is where it all comes together with sort of getting missions and the economy all flowing and having that content there that will be almost self-sustaining. I think that's something that will come in 2025. Here's an extra question. Once Bounty Hunting version 2 comes out, do you think that we will make the profession of bounty hunting more attractive to players? And we will see people engaging in PvP bounties? And if yes, what would that mean for unlawful side of player-based pirates and gangers? Yeah, 100%. So, especially with Pyro being out, right? So that's going to help push a lot of that PvP gameplay and that much more high-risk, high-reward and bounty hunting gameplay more over to Pyro. I'm not going to say it's going to be totally out of Stanton, but it'll be much more in Pyro. And Bounty Hunting version 2, what would actually that be? Well, that'll be the ability for bounties to be tracked and to take those bounties. So you'll keep on getting updated. This is where they last were, sort of sightings of bounties. You'll be able to take bounties both on foot and in ship. And it's sort of putting bounties dead or alive in cryopods and then dispensing those pods, taking those hover trolleys to a bounty hunting office or security station, which are the sort of military docks on the space stations. It's quite basic stuff, but you'll see advocacy tools, you'll see stuff to be able to stun people and sort of handcuffs and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that you'll just see more of a shift of that sort of more high-risk, high-reward stuff, mostly or more in Pyro. I think that Stanton will be a lot more flush with bounty hunters. And then obviously some of them will be travelling to Pyro. And you'll see a lot of people that are unlawful in Pyro, some of which are coming to Stanton. And as the sort of universe expands out more, there's more opportunities and more stuff going on, right? The interesting stuff was when they also have the new updates to quantum mechanics and master modes and the resource management system, because that changes the way that people engage and gank and fight and PvP and pirate. So that a load of that stuff's coming this year. Doesn't matter what they put in the game, it doesn't work. Well, I mean, it is an alpha, and it does work a lot of the stuff, and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does. The game is hugely better compared to where it ever has been. And there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, especially Arena Commander, right? Arena Commander works really well at the moment, and is quite fun with a lot of the game modes. Netcode, not the best, but it's getting there. It's alpha for a reason. It's genuinely getting there, and I mean, you'd be disingenuous to say that it's not improving, and it looks like it's improving significantly, at least on paper, over the next year. And the stuff they showed off at CitizenCon is a lot more realistic than they've previously shown off, right? Good question. Does this count as a good question? It counts as a question, for sure. Do you think they'll allow us to solo Idris and Polaris? If not solo, then use a skeleton crew of 1 to 3 people effectively with blades and NPCs. Or do you think this would be impossible? So you will be able to run these ships with just yourself. However, that's not going to be optimal. So basically, if your ship is fresh and fresh out of dock or really well maintained, yeah, it's not going to have many problems flying around. Now, it's not going to suddenly have breakdowns or whatever. You can also underpower your systems, and sort of that helps with the possibility of wear and tear and sort of malfunctions and stuff like that. Now, why would you want, if you can have one person in a javelin, why would you want more? Well, because you're not operating the turrets, you're not doing 99% of its combat, you're not doing a huge portion of its combatability, and obviously, as soon as you're in combat, this is a combat ship, you're going to have things where systems get damaged, fires start, there's the need for engineering, there's a need for a load of other tasks on ships. So yeah, you're not using its combat stuff, you're not using its engineering potential, and it becomes a liability rather than something useful. If someone boards you, then what are you going to do? But you can hire, you will be able to hire NPC crew, so you can run it just yourself with an NPC crew. You can get AI blades, which do very specific roles, but they cost like energy and computer slots. So you can have them running some of your turrets for you. You can have them automatically sending out chaff and countermeasures for you, stuff like that. So you can run a ship with a mixture of you, NPC crew, and AI blades if you want. That's going to be very viable for some people. However, human crew players are probably going to be better in pretty much every circumstance. I say almost every circumstance. They're supposed to be. The average player is going to be significantly better. Or at least better. That's the idea. Because some people are going to be terrible troll AFK. I don't know. Will AI blades basically give a player ability to have an AI jav, NPC jav? So NPC crew will, yes. AI blades, we don't have enough information about exactly how many you can put on a ship and how full their computer slots get and stuff like that. So could you put a load of them in a javelin to control all of its turrets and do all of its functionality? Potentially. Will they be able to do things like engineering for you and put out fires? Probably not. But maybe you can get sort of AI blades that are actually, well, this is a fire prevention system, which takes up some slots if you want. That's a possibility, right? So we don't have enough information about AI blades to know exactly how they're going to work and what functions they'll be able to do. I mean, the basic ones we know about are controlling your turrets and probably automatically dispensing countermeasures. But NPC crew, different from AI blades, but very similar, right? Well, considering the main purpose of the Javelin or Idris is capital ship combat, which will occur most in Org v Org settings. Not necessarily. There's going to be lots of PvE scenarios, and I'd say tons of PvE scenarios that will constantly be generated where you'll be able to go fight pirates and pirate bases and stuff. Why would you want to crew it with NPCs over players? Well, so to bring more to a fight. So if you're not, when you're fighting an Org, they're not going to necessarily know immediately if your ship is crewed or uncrewed or crewed with NPCs or not. And if you need a load of ships for a specific reason to bring a show of force or to break a line or whatever, maybe it's better to run skeleton crews with loads of NPCs or AI blades, or even just pretend you've got more than you actually do. We don't know about the costs of NPC crews. We don't know exactly how much power AI blades use, things like that. They're all planned though, and it will get balanced and tweaked as the game goes forward. So, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter even if we did know all of these things, because they would need to be tweaked and balanced anyway. Some good questions today. Appreciate it. If you read a dumb question, do you ignore it or answer it? You be the judge of that. So I don't necessarily know a question's dumb. If it's clearly a volatile question, polarizing question that's just gonna, you know, upset people just by reading it. I might not. But I think people's, if they ask questions, they're you know, it's content for me, right? Talk about it. I don't care if they have a totally different opinion from me. I can have a chat. All good. I think a lot of people are pushed to the side as, oh, you're a troll, or oh, you don't understand, or whatever, when a lot of people want to ask questions or are genuinely annoyed about something or have a grievance which has never been answered because people have assumed they're a troll or whatever, just because maybe they associate with trolls, or maybe it's because it's a general troll question but might not have been answered to them. There's a lot of questions that a lot of people just want answered, and I think that's fine. There's rarely dumb questions. Sometimes hard. The people that say there are never dumb questions, that's a dumb answer. Do you really think we will get a lot of quality of life updates like the UI star map interaction and other stuffs before Q3? So I think Q3, that's when we're going to see 4.0. That's when we're going to see Pyro and server meshing. I'm hoping that we see the star map in Q2. So I think from what they showed, it looks near ready for integration, which I would suspect they'd want to get it in for Q1, but be unable to, because they'll be like, there's still dependencies or whatever, and then I'll get it in for Q2. That would be my hope. That's what I'm sort of roughly expecting. So star map update. Oh, and then the interaction stuff. I mean, they showed it off at CitizenCon. Yes, it might not be ready for prime time yet, but it looks pretty close. I mean, it's all stuff that they need for Squadron, and Squadron is feature complete, right? So it's polish. It might take a lot of polish for some of these bits, and obviously they have to bring it into the Persistent Universe. I think Q2 for a lot of it is genuinely feasible. Some of it, Q1. How many ships do you own, Bored? A good amount. It's about $4,000 worth of ships. And lots of, I suppose I've got lots of promo and other ships as well now over the many years. It's in the range of 50 to 100. But, I mean, lots of them are tiny little ships, right? I will, at some point, I will go through them all. What advice would you give to someone starting a YouTube channel? Are you a slave to the algorithm? Like, if you miss an upload, that will seriously impact your income? So I want to be producing a video a day. I'll get anxious if I don't, but that's more because I'm bipolar, and I need to be working. Otherwise, I just get anxious and depressed. So the more work I do, the more I feel like I've accomplished something and I have purpose. So even when I'm ill, I want to be working because I'll lie in bed and I'll be bored and I'll be anxious and and now I'm feeling worse even though I'm resting. So let me do some work, sort of thing. That's why I'm streaming today. We'll get a video out as well later, sort of that out in the morning. I'm talking about Squadron 42 features, in fact. So it depends on how you run your channel. If you're running a dedicated niche channel, like if you just did it on Star Citizen content or just on board games or something like that, it can take a while to sort of start up. Like I was grinding for about 2 years before I started getting anything that was a reasonable income. So sort of bear that in mind. Slave to the algorithm? I'm not, because I'm just producing videos on Star Citizen. I'm a slave to the news that is available. I say that. There's a load of stuff I can talk about when there's no other news available, as you'll see over the next week as well, because we're still waiting for CIG to get back in the office. But there's a load of stuff that I can go over and talk about. If you're starting something new like that, it might work, it might not work. You can grind it to make it work over enough time. I will say that. Time is a... If you have enough time, you will be able to make something work eventually, is genuinely how I see it. But it depends on exactly what you want to make your content on. And there's still space in the Star Citizen community to make content for sure. The game's only going to get more and more sort of content to it. But there's tons of stuff you can do it on. I'd say do it on a niche and do it in your own style. Feel free to look at other people's videos for ideas. Don't don't straight up 100% copy them, but you can do very similar videos. Or you can do a video that's basically the same title as someone else's, as long as it's done in your style and in a different way. But I would change the title and make it yours, as it were. Yeah, sort of go for it. If you're moving on to something because you need the money, then I think that's dangerous, right? Like, I'm leaving my job to start YouTube. That's mental. You're bored. Do you think there are last? We talked about that earlier. But good luck. Good luck with your channel, sir. Feel free to message me and get me on discord.gg/BoredGamer and message me on there. Happily answer some questions. When do you think realistically we will get the persistent hangars and cargo lifts? Q1 or Q2? Quite genuinely, I think by end of Q2. So they look like they were getting them ready. So basically, cargo lifts going. You can now spawn and put in cargo into a landing zone. It's sort of a much needed management system for your cargo and stuff. That's your most anticipated feature. It's quite a small thing, but it does allow for a lot, right? It does really expand out the cargo and economy gameplay and allow you to get your vehicles on your ships. Do you think we'll see the mech? So, the Titan suits. I think they're going to be much more of a 2025 feature. I've been wanting them every year since, 2016? Haven't talked much about them. I think they're used for Squadron 42. So, Squadron 42 is feature complete. Wow. Don't think they'll be ready for the Persistent Universe anytime soon, though. So, I have a Verbal Constellation Delta as a HOTAS, which I use incredibly rarely. I have a Logitech G502 mouse and some sort of mechanical keyboard that I use for most of my stuff, most of my gaming, and Star Citizen for recording, whatever. It's just ease of use, right? Most people use mouse and keyboard for Star Citizen, so when I do tutorials and stuff, I'll do that as the control scheme. I do occasionally use my HOTAS. I use it less and less because I play the game for different reasons now. CIG might skew you out of your best in show paint. Don't you worry, some of you. Yeah, I got your back. I'll kick up a stink. Something I'll do for my mods and my friends. I'll kick up a stink. Don't you worry. Will we see the Zeus soon? We'll see it this year. I'm thinking probably Q3. It's supposed to be in-game this year. I don't know how long it's going to be while they're in-game. I suspect CIG have been working on many more systems than they have let on. Have you seen any indications of this? So, yeah, we know that they've been working on certain systems like Stanton, Nyx, Odin, Orion, and obviously we've seen demos where they've shown off other systems before. And all the tech they're building and all the sort of planetary tech and stuff allows them to build out a star system relatively quickly. So that's the main thing, right? The mission content and the points of interest / planetary tech, all of that stuff allows them just to build out any star system they want pretty quickly. And I suspect they have been working on more systems beyond that, than specifically, and actually building them out already. Like I'd expect to see half a dozen systems in game in the next 2-3 years. I'm interested in base raids that they advertise. So yeah, that's part of the new depots that they've got. So they're building out depots, they're building out underground facilities, sort of, and loads of other new points of interest and settlements and all this other stuff. And some of the stuff you'll be able to do there is you'll be able to raid them, literally going, I'm going to assault these and steal some goods from them, relatively dangerous. They've got defences you have to break through and raid them on the ground, get the stuff out, and run away. Cool. I think that sounds awesome. Doesn't Blades defeat the MMO approach of the game and large ships? Mainly solo play myself, but if I can basically semi-solo any ship, why even look for a real crew? Well, okay. Why, if you have a real crew, why get NPC crew and AI Blades? It's dependent on what type of gameplay you want, right? Some people are going to want to run a ship, some people are going to want a crew on a ship. Different folks for different strokes. Quite genuinely. However, NPC crew or AI Blades almost certainly not going to be as good as players. That's the intention. And I suspect that in most situations, people will have a partial crew of players and then AI Blades or NPC crew. How much would do Chuck cover woodchuck? Good Chuck wood or play Star Citizen? 17. An Idris worth. Do you think they will have gambling in game? Okay. So I think they try and avoid gambling in games because it raises the age rating and it makes it so that you can't release games in China as well and things like that. So I think they probably won't have gambling in game. Probably not. You're organising an unofficial bar citizen in Brewdogs Manchester, 2nd of March. Will you please plug this and join in details and pass it in Discord? Mash, can you either email me or post it on my Discord, and then I will, at the very least, promote it. I would say I'd come down, but Sin and I are taking 2 weeks off in March for Hertholdia for my 39th. I'm not sure I can get any more, realistically, have any more time off. Maybe I might come. I'll have a look and genuinely think about it. Oh, I could. So I'm house hunting in, maybe house hunting in Leeds and places. Maybe I'll have a look at Manchester as well. So maybe I could come up the Bastardus and there, and then just go to my mate's house in Leeds and then house hunt. Maybe. But I'll certainly promote it. Are you one of the chaps that was at the last one? Crew the NPC because it is hard getting people to meet up. So it's going to be dependent for different folks, right? Some people are going to have huge orgs. They're going to have loads of people wanting to get on an Idris or whatever. Others are going to have, well, I've got 32 ships and it's just me and a couple of mates. Is Star Citizen worth buying? I mean, 100% for the, just get a cheap package though. Get yourself a starter pack and then earn everything in game. It's still relatively inexpensive to get at the moment. I expect it will go up in price potentially at the end of this year. It's $40, $45 for a game package at the moment and ship. I suspect that will go up by at least $20. I think very much worth buying. Beyond that, you can buy other ships and stuff. Just get all that stuff in game. Don't buy anything more. Some people say buy this or buy that. I've previously said to people maybe upgrade it to an Avenger Javelin. Oh my god, Avenger Titan. Two very different ships. Which is, I think, is a really cool style of ship, but can get that in game relatively inexpensively, pretty quickly. When you salvage, you have a chance of getting weapons and shields instead of just salvage stuff. So, well, you can strip that yourself. You can go to a ship and you take the weapons off the ship and the cargo out of the ship and the components out of the ship with your tracked beam, and then hull strip and then munch it, hoover it up. Structural salvage, that's the one. Thoughts on the Arestra being $525 plus? It's a ridiculously expensive ship. Sounds cool, but I'll be getting it in game. Also, I have an Orion, which is bigger and was effectively a lot cheaper. What else have we got here? I do appreciate all the kind words. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for all the donations and bits and subs. That's genuinely appreciated. Thank you, thank you. There's someone just saying balls. Good for you. Anything in particular excited for this year? Star map, probably one of the largest things, which is such a weird thing to be super excited about. But actually having a functional star map makes the game a lot more accessible and a lot more easier for me to play and to show off the universe, right? Or the systems that we have at the moment. Obviously, Alpha 4.0, Pyro, server meshing, base building, if they can get it in. I suspect we'll see very early base building, like land claims, and then some structures. What else have we got? People shouldn't cheese their way through mechanics. If I want a solo, I should focus on solo ships. I don't necessarily think it's going to be cheesing getting an NPC crew and an AI plates. I mean, it needs to be balanced. The game needs to suit so many different types of people. And I'm fine with someone... I don't see how it's cheesing. Like, if you have a fleet and you want to fly a fighter in a ship, great. I think you're going to see... I don't think you're going to see lots of NPC fighters in a player fleet. Like, that sort of stuff. I think that NPC crew will have to be on a ship with a player, sort of thing. See what I mean? We'll see how it works and evolves. I certainly understand your point that you don't want to be cheesed and you don't want to just like, well, I'm an org of 100 players, and we've each got a capital ship, and we're all going to have them crewed by NPCs. Well, it's going to be probably quite expensive, and might not be as effective as a lot less ships fully crewed by players. But certainly a point to... Let's see how it evolves. Eventually, hopefully in the future, you'll be able to steal ships and effectively make them your own. You certainly will in like unlawful areas. Sort of, you won't be able to fly them in lawful areas as well because you'll be branded criminal. But you might be able to change the VIN number or whatever in the future. Like they've talked about that a few times. There's going to be ways around this sort of stuff. Have you seen Light It on Fire game trailers by No Man's Sky, people? No, I haven't, but I will look at it later. So No Man's Sky, really interesting story because they lied about how complete that game was and when it was released, and about multiplayer and about its features. Very, very sort of obscured and just it exaggerated as a game, and released, and it wasn't great. And then they sat down and they worked on it for a couple of years, and they made it a genuinely good game. And had most of the features that I wanted in it, and I play it occasionally and go, "It's cool." I do think they can actually make a game, and yeah, eventually, it should have needed a bit more work before they released it. What happened to the org tools rework that CIG had on the roadmap? It is still a thing. It is super important. I cannot believe that we do not have org features and updates to orgs, and at a glance being able to see who's in whose org in game and stuff on the UI, and being able to share ships and stuff. Hopefully with persistent hangers, they'll bring that stuff in. It's so weird that it's not just a thing, right? Like the star map and org features, org tools in game, better ones. Madness. Will there be a chance for NPC crew to revolt and try and overtake your ship and turn out to be pirates? I don't think so. They might leave or stop working. I don't think they will revolt, but we'll have to see how they go with that. Will we see the Perseus this year? It's possible. We'll see the Polaris. And they've also got lots more people working on RSI ships and those larger ships at the moment. So it's possible. We'll certainly see development updates on it. I would say. I don't. It's hard to tell with things like that. I don't think it's started production yet, but we'll know a bit later in the year. Do you think they'll start doing goal passes on ships quarterly once engineering comes in? So yeah, engineering. There's engineering, resource management system, which is also physicalized components, then allows them to do effectively a more standardized gold pass, because a gold pass on a ship at the moment is basically the latest level of technology. But with Squadron 42 being feature complete, once they have the resource management stuff in, then they'll be able to go, let's make all the ships up to this gold standard. So yes, I do think that will be a thing. With the new aerodynamic systems in atmosphere, how will bigger ships behave in planets? So, only some ships will be able to easily land and take off on planets. SRVs and other tractor beams can be used to help laden or damaged ships get out of orbit. But they're going to be heavier. As long as they've got enough thrust and stuff, they'll still be able to fly. Obviously, they're probably going to have a lot of VTOL, but they probably won't be able to fly easily indefinitely. But they're not just going to get into atmosphere and then crash or anything. They're going to make it so that that's not just a very, very aggravating experience or anything. Large ships, they're not going to fit in a city hangar. So like capital ships and stuff are going to need specialist docks and facilities and stuff to maintain. When do you think the cargo pods on the Carrack will be functional for at least loading cargo? So, the Carrack and modularity and Carrack updates. Could we see modularity stuff done later this year? Yes, it's possible. I'm hoping that we do. After the resource management system stuff's come online, I think the next thing for that will be modularity. How long until you think we'll see passenger gameplay with like the E1 spiriting game? Bear with me 1 second. Oh. It's all good. We're good. What was I talking about? What's happening? Passenger gameplay. E1 Spirit. So they actually had been working on taxi gameplay last year and the year before. So once it becomes a focus for them again, I suspect they'll have to get passenger gameplay in. It's something we could see this year for sure. But we'll know more once they show off the roadmap updates in February. Hopefully they'll give us a bit of an indication. I think it's probably more likely to be 2025 now, but if for Squadron 42 has there been any rewriting of the lore and timeline referring to I don't know. I'm assuming they've retconned and tweaked some lore stuff. Obviously the lore is effectively an alpha as well at the moment. They're evolving that stuff. I loved Baldur's Gate 3. Yes, I played Baldur's Gate 3. So it's for 2023, my favourite game of the year. Best game of the year is either that or Dave the Diver. Baldur's Gate 3 or Dave the Diver. Baldur's Gate 3 is just so good. Some of the music in it is just absolutely great as well. Do you think Chris Roberts will ever go to space like William Shatner did? I don't know if it becomes a lot cheaper to go into space, right? Chris has got a reasonable amount of money, but he's not like... He's pretty rich, but he's not like super rich. Hope you get well soon. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Vitamin C and vitamin D I'm taking. With Squadron 42, do you think we'll be getting the updated Vandal ships? I believe we get the updated Vandal ships once Squadron 42 comes out. And we also get the Idris. So get the Idris P and the K kit. It's when they release it, sort of around the same time. I asked the star system question because I think about the goal of 95 systems. So I believe on paper they have roughly 120 star systems they want to get in game. What else have we got? I will not even try No Man's Sky until Sean Murray admits to lying and apologizes. I think he's... I don't actually know. I felt like he was a little weasel when he started the... when he was talking about the game and talking about multiplayer when it was first released, because it just wasn't there. And he was like, but I like the fact that they tried to fix everything. So I can forgive. What's the status of the next patch? I surrendered and went flat screen and crashed upon launching the game. I think only a new patch can save me. Love your comment. I appreciate the kind words. I'm sorry you're having issues. There's a mini patch coming potentially today or early next week. 3.22.0a might fix a load of problems for people. Other than that, the next major patch planned for the end of March. 3.23. Do you think they're currently going to bring more of a purpose to gameplay in the verse? Yes. I mean, so Sketo, that as they bring more stuff together and they have permanent progression, that adds a lot more purpose, right? So we need the dynamic economy, and we need all the servers to sort of be connected and that progression to be permanent. And then I think we, with all the other features they've got coming in this year, actually in a pretty good position. There's still a load more they need to do. What am I looking forward to most in 2024? So Star Map is pretty high up there. Obviously base building. Oh, very excited for that. Even if they only get little bits of it in, I'm still excited for it. But Star Map, super excited for. And then generally the summer release of the Summer of Love and Pyro and 4.0. In your opinion, what ships need the most redesign work? Aurora. After the 600i and the Talia down, the Aurora. Right. I'm going to see who else is streaming on the Twitch. I am going to upload a video and then have a nap. That's my plan for the day. I'm going to send you over to Super Mac Brothers because I love the beautiful boy. Are they? Looks like crashed or something. No, he's not. I think he might be getting a drink. That's probably what's going on. Yeah. He's moving again. It's fine. He's alive. That's good. Right. Thank you so much for watching. Genuinely appreciated. You're having a great 2024. And I will be getting a video out probably in about 45 minutes about Squadron 42 features that are coming into the Persistent Universe this year. And sort of me just having a bit of a rant. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Love you loads. You have a great one. And I'll see you soon. Peace.